Hello, I'm Joyels. Welcome. So basically, in this tarot card reading, this is going to be for an individual reading for Aquarius. This is going to be for September 7th to September 14th of 2025. So basically, in this one for reading for you, Aquarius, I know that there are things you must learn first in order to do that. You know, that's how it goes. You have to try to, regulate your own emotions, your own relationships, whatever it is. But you have to have your own taunting ways about knowing what to do, and you think that everything's gonna be fine. All right, everything's all peachy. Yes, but you have to understand about your own weaknesses, your own diagrams, your own the way how it is. It's like okay, everything seems to be fine, but you have to understand that, right? So you have to go with the flow. You have to pay attention on what's going on in that way because you're trying to use your own theory. You're trying to own basic what you want and what you get, right? That's how it goes. So this oracle card, it says humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. That's how it goes. And when you have your own humor, you have that sensitivity about having humor, and you make, people laugh, or maybe you're going to make yourself laugh, what it is. And you want attention, you want things to be happening all at once. And when you do that, it's like, alright, everything's going to be fine. Alright, everything is going to be impossible. Yes, but nothing is impossible to make it possible. That's all you can do. But in that result, you have to show your own theory about your own humor. That's how it goes, right? So let's see what's going on for you, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on. So let's see what's happening here. Let's see. So in this, it is in this way. Basically, you have the Emperor's card. You have nourishment, right? Everything's all nourished. This Seven of Cups reverse, there's no delusion. Full reverse, there's no change. The King of Cups reverse, there's no support. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. But Nine of Wands is upright, there's fear. Alright? So when you have fear, it's like, why are you doing it? Why? Because there's a temptation. And when you're being tempted, you know how it goes in that way. And you have to know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to be who you are. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to be how it is. You're trying to understand that. And when that's how it is, you know how it's going to be in that way. And you think, alright, everything's going to be fine. Alright, I know what to do. But that's just how it goes. Right? So that's the way it is. So, let me clarify. Let me clarify between this Seven Cups to this Fool card. The Ten of Pentacles is upright. There's the Eight Cups is upright, and the Two of Swords is upright. So you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. That's how it goes for the Two of Swords. The Eight Cups is upright. You want entertainment because you might be showing yourself from Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. The Ten of Pentacles is upright. You want wealth because that's what you do, because that's how it goes, and you understand that, right? That's the way it's going to be. What's between this Two of Swords here? The Nine of Swords here is there's no drama. The Death card does represent Scorpio, because you want endings. The Wheel of Fortune is upright, you want good luck. So you're between endings and good luck at the same time, because you understand that. It's like, okay, everything's to be alright, because this is how it goes, yes. But you're trying to use your own empathy to understand that. You're trying to have your own stronghold. You're trying to get what you want, because this is how it goes. You have to believe that you have your own circumstances, whether you like it or not. But this is like almost like PG. Yes, it might be. But you have to pay attention to what's going on in that way. It's like everything is going to go with the flow. Yes, but you have your own circumstances to understand what you want, what you get. But that's how it goes in that way, right? That's the way it works. What's this Emperor's card about? The Five Cups is upright, there's grief. Two of Earth, there's no progress. Eight Wands is upright, there's speed. Yes, so when you have no progress, right? Basically it means you have the Eight Wands. You want speed. You want things to be happening all at once. But when the Five Cups is upright, there's grief here. It's like, why are you grieving? Because there's something that was happening in that way. It's like something was, someone was actually pushing your buttons too far. Or you're trying to like say, well, this is very interesting. I don't know what to do. Please help me. It's like, that's what it is. You're trying to want the universe to say what's happening in that way. And you're trying to show your own support. You're trying to know how you can regulate your own emotions or your own sense of humor. That's how it goes. And that's the way it happens. Let's read this King of Cups and this Nine of Wands here. The Knight of Swords is upright, there's drama. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Six of Swords is upright, there's movement. Yes, that's how it goes. So you might be focusing on drama. Maybe that might be a part of acting. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. I don't know why you have no structure. But the Six of Swords already, there's movement here because you're going around, you're going with the flow, you're walking around, whatever it is. And that's how it goes, right? You're moving as a wonderful feeling because you got the momentum. You know how it is in that way. And you think, alright, this is gonna be wonderful. Yes, it is, but that's how it goes, right? That's the way it happens. What's this tarot card about? The Seven of Wands reverse, there's no silence. The Fool is upright, there's change. Nine of Pentacles is upright, yeah, because you're feeling uncomfortable. That's how it goes. It's like, alright, this doesn't seem to be happening. Alright, I know what to do. Because that's how it goes in that way. It's like you're going to show what you're doing in that way because you're showing about your own ability from the right and wrong perspective. That's all you can do. So let me do one card over here. 6 1 sorry, there's basically celebration. What's over here? The Four of Pentacles is upright, so you're looking for money. What's on this side? Seven Pentacles is upright, you're basically focusing on your career. And over here you have the Sun cards already, there's positivity. Alright, so you're into this perspective where you might have positivity, maybe you're not. But you know what, Aquarius? Let's see what's going on. So let's keep going. So what's this Six of Wands about? The Tower is upright, there's transformation. Temperance reverse, there's no healing. But the Judge is upright, you're taking action. Alright, that's how it goes. Because everything's going to change in a split second. It's like, okay, this seems to be very interesting. Alright, you know what to do, yes. But you have your own process to understand that in that way, because you know what to do in that way. What's this Four of Pentacles about? The Sun card is upright, there's positivity. The Magician's reverse, there's no skill. Devil is upright, there's obsessions and addictions. The Emperor is upright, there's structure. Yes, so you're in between the negative side and the positive side. But when you have the Devil is upright, there's obsessions, addictions. You know, you're having a bad luck situation. That's how it goes. You're trying to impose what you're doing in that way. It's like, okay, this seems to be, alright, this is how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Capricorn as another earth sign, but you might be dealing with another Leo as a fire sign. But it all depends on you. It all depends about your positivity and your wonderfulness, whatever it is, and that's how it goes. What's this Seven Pentacles about? The Fool is upright, there's change. Wheel of Fortune reverse, you're going to have bad luck. The Empress is upright, there's nourishment. Alright? What's something with this Wheel of Fortune reverse? The Strength card is upright, yeah, because you want bravery, because you're being, you know how it goes. But when you have bad luck, it's like things are not going as planned. You know, that's how it goes. You're trying to say, woe is me. I can't do this anymore. I quit. You know, you're trying to understand that. That's the way it seems to be. So you're trying to understand what works and what doesn't. But it all depends on you. You know, that's how it goes. What's this Sun card about? The Star reverse, there's no inspiration. The Human is upright, there's restrictions. World reverse, there's incompletion. Moon reverse, there's misrotations. The Lover is upright, there's basically you're making yourself decisions because you're trying to make decisions, you know. And when you do that, that's the way it goes. You're trying to plan what you're going to be doing next because this is how it is. This is like how you're trying to, you know, use your own momentum about your own study about what's going on. You know, that's how it goes. You're trying to figure out about why are your emotions are going sideways, or why you're not having a good day, or whatever it is, right? You're trying to understand that when you do it, that's the way it goes, because you're trying to understand that, right? You're trying to not have your own manipulation or anything like that. You're trying to believe what you're going to be doing, and that's how it goes. You're trying to have your own solidity. You're trying to have your own beliefs, or whatever it is. That's how it goes, right? This is the way it seems to be, and when you do it, that's the way it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? The Eight of Cups reverse, there's no entertainment. No, because there's no entertainment, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, it's like, okay, this seems to be happening all at once. Alright, this is how it is. Alright, because seems to be very interesting. So let's see what this Eight of Cups about. The World is upright, there's completion. Five of Cups upright, there's grief. Two Wands is upright, you're planning on something. The Magician is upright, there's skill. The Hermit is upright, you're looking for a soulmate. Yes, you're looking for a soulmate because that's all you want. You want things to be happening all at once, because that's how it goes. You're trying to use your own pride and joy. You're trying to figure out what's going to be happening. This is the way it seems to be. This is like how you're being wild. You're being who you are. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to believe about what's happening. All it does. That's how it goes. It's like how it is in that way, because everything's all good, but you understand that. That's the way it goes, right? That's why about who you are is understand that, right? Let's just say it comes towards the right side, please. The Queen of Cups separate, you want empathy. 9-1 separate, there's basically immaturity. 4-1 yours, there's no celebration. The Temperance yours, there's no healing. Judgment yours, there's no action. Ace of Swords separate, there's understanding here. But the King of Cups is upright, there's support. Yes, because you want support, you want things to be happening all at once. You're trying to figure out about, okay, this seems to be very interesting. I know what to do, alright. Because this is how it is. You want things to be happening all at once, but then it's like, why are you doing it? Why you keep criticizing, whatever it is. You're trying to figure out that, I'm not acting like I'm being immaturely, or I'm acting like I'm trying to figure out that I'm obsessed, or, I want things to be looking at me, whatever it is. You want people to look at you in a different perspective, But when you keep doing it all the time, it's like, why? Right? You're trying to figure out that. And if you're trying to make your own bold move, or what it is, why you keep doing it, That's the question. Try to answer it for you, Aquarius, get to the point. That's the way it goes. So what's going on for the middle? Judgment yours, there's no action. Here from yours, there's no guidance. Knight of Swords yours, there's no drama. Strength is upright, there's bravery. 4-1 yours, there's no celebration. 5 yours, there's no grief. 10 of Swords yours, there's no conclusions. King of Swords upright, there's basically knowledge here. That's how it goes in that way, right? You're using your own knowledge because you think that everything's all good. That's the way it goes. The Hermit yours, you already have a soulmate. The Queen wants upright, there's charisma. The Devil yours, there's no obsessions. Justice already, you're telling the truth. Yes. And the King wands reversed. And the Queen of Cups upright, there's empathy. And the King of Pentacles yours, there's no prosperity. About the money situation, because you're not trying to observe what you're doing in that way. So let's see what's on the left side. The Fool yours. Okay, so there's no change. Here from yours, there's no guidance. The Chariot yours, there's no progress. Moon yours, there's no misrotations. Alright, so let's see what's happening with this this Fool card. So let's see what's happening. Let's see. Let me clarify. Clarify this Fool card. The Sun card is upright, you want positivity. The Emperor is upright, you want structure. Yes, you want that. You want things to be happening all great, because this is how it goes. You're trying to acknowledge what's happening in that way, because you're trying to show your own positivity. Whether you're being positive or not, it all depends on how you're feeling in that way. If you want people to look at you, you want that to be happening all at once, because that's how it goes. It's like how you can do your own favorable of your own temptations about knowing what to do, right? That's how it goes in that way. Because you're trying to co-create, you're trying to do what you're told to do, because that's how it goes. What is Hierophant about? The Taurus yours, there's no healing. The Tower is upright, there's transformation. The High Priest yours, there's no voice. The Magician yours, there's no skill. The Hangman yours, there's no restrictions. The Fool yours, there's no change. But the Hermit is upright, is you're looking for a soulmate, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because that's how it goes. What's this Chariot about? The others upright, there's obsessions. Judgment yours, you're not taking action. Death card yours, there's no endings. Those yours, there's no decisions. Chariot yours, there's no progress. Strength is upright, there's bravery. Yes, it is, because that's how it goes. If things are happening all at once, it's like you're trying to say, oh well, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit. But the way this is for you, Aquarius, you get to the point. That's why when you show your own humor, you're trying to figure out what's happening, you're trying to figure out, oh, this is going to be very interesting, I'm not trying to natter, I'm not trying to do whatever I want, but that's how it goes, right? You have to think about what's happening all at once, right? That's how it goes. What's this Moon card about? The Justice is upright, you're telling the truth. The World is upright, there's completion. Yes, because you want things to be happening all at once, because you're trying to be all favorable. You're trying to, sense your own purpose. You're trying to read between the lines. That's how it goes. So what's between this Sun card is Emperor. The 5 of Wands here is no chaos. What's between this Hermit and this Tower? The Hand reverse, there's no restrictions. Alright, what's the Strength card about? 4 of Wands is over there, celebration. What's between the Justice and the World? The World reverse, there's incompletion. Alright, so what's happening with this for this 5 of Wands here? The 10 of Pentacles reverse, you already have a career. Strength card reverse, you're being scared. Yes. The Queen of Cups reverse, there's no empathy. 5 Pentacles reverse, there's no prosperity. 4 Cups reverse, there's no distraction. Page Taurus reverse, there's no education. Gemini reverse, there's no action. 10 of Cups reverse, there's no incompletion. 9 Pentacles is you're feeling comfortable. You think that you're feeling comfortable because you're trying to be brave. You're not being scared. You're trying to understand what you're doing because you're trying to have your own temptations, or you're trying to be tempted, or you're trying to figure out what's happening. You have to understand that whether things will be good or bad, you have to understand that, because you have to acknowledge what you're doing in that way. You're trying to have your own whereabouts. You're trying to figure out what's happening. If you're using your own sense of humor, you have to understand that in that way. What's this Haman about? The Hermit reverse, there's no solitude. The High Priestess reverse, there's no inner voice. The 10 of Swords reverse, there's no conclusions. 8 Pentacles is that right? Yeah, because everything's all perfection. Yes, it is. But you understand that, where you might have a soulmate, or you don't have a soulmate, but it all depends on you. Right? That's how it goes. And when you focus on that, that's the way it seems to be, Aquarius. Get to the point. What's this 4 of Wands about? The 3 of Cups is over, there's celebration. Death card is over, there's endings. Yeah. Because you're maybe focusing on Scorpio, because you maybe depend on Scorpio. Maybe you like Scorpio. I don't know. But it all depends on how you're feeling that way. If you want celebration, if you want things to be happening all at once, you know what to do. That's how it seems to be that. And when you do that, you need to have your own menopause. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it all depends on you, Aquarius. You get to the point, right? That's how it goes. You're trying to have your own valuation of how you're feeling in that way, right? That's how it goes. What's this road card about? Denver is over, there's nourishment. A1 is over, there's speed. Yes. In many ways, you have to understand that in that way. You're trying to figure out, okay, this seems to be happening, or you know what to do. Yes, but the way of this is, you have to understand that. So let's see what the universe is saying here. Let's see. So I'm going to go from the middle to left, middle to right. Queen of Pentacles here, there's no stability. 5 of Swords here, there's no revenge. 9 of Swords here, there's no trauma. 8 Pentacles is upright, there's perfection. King of Pentacles here, there's no security. Ace of Wands here, there's no new beginnings. 6 Pentacles here, there's no kindness. Exactly. The Emperor, the Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Strength is upright, there's bravery. Yes, it is. But when you have no kindness whatsoever, you're not being kind. It's like you're basically saying that, oh well, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit. Then why are you being unkind for? You have your own momentum of your own priorities about try to be happy, not to be, being unkind and saying, well, I don't want to do this anymore. But you have to understand that. You have to have your own valuation of how you're feeling in that way. What's between the middle and the right side? 10 of Cups, alright, there's completion. Queen of Swords, there's no independence. Ace of Wands is alright, Ace of Pentacles is alright, there's growth. Wheel of Fortune is alright, there's good luck. What's between this Queen of Swords about? Page of Pentacles here, there's no prospects. 5 of Cups here, there's no grief. King of Cups here, there's no support. 7 of Pentacles is alright, yeah, because you're looking for a career. That's how it goes, you're focusing on your career. What's the middle? The Lovers here, there's no decisions. 6 of Wands here, there's no achievement. Page of Cups, alright, there's loyalty. So you're trying to find yourself that you want to have loyalty or not. But it all depends on you. That's how it goes. But this seems to be, right? So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please get a like. Please get a comment if you want. But this is the way it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please get a like. Please get a comment. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thanks. And bye.